Hello, I'm James Mayhew and I'm the author and illustrator of this book, Once Upon a Tune, Stories from the Orchestra. In this book there are 6 fantastic stories based on myths and legends that have inspired great pieces of music. And I'm going to read you an extract from one of them. It's called In the Hall of the Mountain King. Peer Gynt lay on his back on the soft grass of the mountainside and looked up at the passing clouds. There was nothing he loved more than lying in the sun and daydreaming. Just yesterday his mother had scolded him for being a lazy layabout. She was angry because his clothes were torn to ribbons. He tried to explain how he'd ripped them, riding a great stag over the mountain ridge, leaping over fjords, almost as high as the midnight sun. But everyone said the same. He's a liar. He's a wastrel. He's a good-for-nothing. Peer Gynt sighed. No one ever believed his tales. It was growing dark, and he wondered if he should go back down to the village. If I stay out, that will give them all something to worry about, which will serve them right, he decided. In any case, he was no longer welcome in the village, not after he caused trouble at a wedding feast by trying to dance with all the girls. They all hate me anyway. Not one girl would dance with me. Everyone thinks I'm bad news. Well, I'll show them. He jumped to his feet and yelled across the valley. You'll see. I'll be something one day, a king or an emperor. I'll go off and make my fortune. You just wait. And he walked higher and higher into the mountains, even though it was dusk and getting cold. He couldn't help thinking of the new girl in the village, Solveig. She was so pretty. Of all the girls, she was the one he wanted to dance with most. I think she wanted to dance with me too, he thought, but she was scared of me because everyone told her I'm trouble. Just then, in the gloom, Peer Gynt saw a young girl dressed in green. It wasn't Solveig, it was a strange girl with flashing eyes and wild hair. I'll dance with you, she said, and more, I'll marry you if you like. She laughed and ran off. Peer Gynt followed her, bewitched. Who are you? He called. Oh, I'm just the daughter of a king, the Mountain King. Have you heard of him? If you marry me there will be treasure for you, a dowry of gold. Come, meet my father, and you can make the arrangements. Peer Gynt followed the green girl into a cave. Deeper and darker they went, until at last the cave opened out into a vast underground cavern. It was filled with glittering eyes and muffled voices. Soon Peer saw the cave was filled with trolls. The girl's father sat on a great chair and glared at Peer Gynt. Well, look, we have a human here. All the other trolls shuffled forward to get a better look. Shall we eat him? They said. No, don't, said Peer Gynt. I'm here to marry the king's daughter. If you want to marry my daughter, you must become a troll, said the king. How does one do that? Asked Peer Gynt. It's easy, said the king. You have to give up your human ways and be wicked, of course. I can do that, said Peer. Everyone thinks I'm wicked already. And you must have a tail, said the king. Shall we pin a tail on him? Laughed some of the trolls. Yes, said the king. Stick a tail on the human. Make him into a troll. If we don't, can we scratch out his eyes? Said the others. Peer Gynt began to panic. He didn't want a tail to be stuck on him. There were so many trolls with their malicious, round eyes and crooked teeth. They came closer and closer, stamping their great hairy feet, drooling. Catch him, eat him, scratch him, kill him, they sang, dancing round and round. Are you a human, or are you a troll? Roared the king. I'm just a boy, said Peer, looking for a way out. Oh, there is no escape now, said the Troll King. Grow a tail, or be eaten alive. Decide. Faster the trolls danced, louder they laughed, grabbing with their claws. And then, in the distance, Peer heard the church bells ringing from the valley far away. The trolls howled and hissed and drew back, disappearing into the walls. Peer fell to the ground and fainted. Well, you can find out the end of the story in the book, Once Upon a Tune, along with 5 other fantastic stories. Thanks for watching. Bye.